thirdly, if you do get a designated area out here, you have no obligation to declare it a turf runway. You can, if you wish, you can file with the FAA and say, this area now is going to be runway 1735 or 18 left or whatever.
If we did that, though, we would run right back into the same problem. It's a designated runway. We can't operate.
It has to meet standards for separation, and then it would be published to the world. The difference is, if you have an alighting and departing area that's not a designated runway, but you got a local letter of agreement, you're fine. There's no problem at all with that, and you have total control over it, and transient traffic isn't going to land on it because they don't know that. It's only the locals know. Now, if you were to ask me, and you're not, but I'll tell you, I've seen people do both. It's a lot simpler if you just don't declare the thing. Sulphur Springs has got one. They've had for quite a while since they had the Legend Cubs up there, and they operate a lot off there, and it's just a flat, grassy area. They're lucky and blessed they've got an area to their west that's outside the OFC, OFA, and they just operate out there.
In the airport layout plan long term, it seems to me like that whole area right there makes sense to be an ultralight glider.
If you make it a regular runway, though, now you've established a new runway safety area off the side of it.
Exactly.
And it doesn't run out of property big time.
What I'm saying is you are well within your right. You're perfectly safe, perfectly logical, and you're doing prudent business. If you just have that area in your local standards, it's agreed that the gliders, the Vandertoe, the ultralights, whoever else operates there has some local guidelines to operate from. It's not published for transient aircraft, and there's no problem with that. If a transient aircraft came and went across that thing outside the OFA, oh, I didn't know you had ultralights out here. Well, you know, you shouldn't have been careening across the grass at a right angle like that. One other thing, Andy, just a very small note. I noticed when you were reading in there, you talked about Part 103 ultralights. If you're going to do some revision to that, all that is now changed with the light sport aircraft, and the 90% of the, quote, ultralights are no longer Part 103. And you could, there's actually a new minimum standards that's on our website that we put out just about 8 months ago. And it updates and it talks about 406 megahertz ELTs, and it talks about LSAs, and you could pull some words out of that. That's not terribly critical right now, but if you're going to do some revision, you'd look at that Part 103 statement as well.
Okay.